What's going on, my Fly family? It's your boy Izzy. Welcome if you're new. We have a lot to talk about today, but we're going to start it right here with Stephen A. Smith coming on First Take and just going off about Caitlin Clark.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, y'all. It's what, you see that score? You see that score? This is what we've been waiting for.
Oh, you thought Stephen A. Smith had already unleashed his fiery takes? Think again. This time, Caitlin Clark has him seeing red. And it's definitely not because of a controversial call. Records are being shattered, egos are being bruised, and Stephen A.'s voice might crack before the internet even reacts. If you're curious, you should be. Stay tuned because this rant promises to be legendary, chaotic, and absolutely Are you ready for the intense drama? Let's jump right in and see what all the hype is about.
I'm focused on Caitlin's numbers. The regular season just started. They ain't gonna win every game. They outscored them 25-15 in the fourth quarter. It just came up short. She finished with 27. She had 5 threes. She pulled up from 30 for one of them. She hit back-to-back threes in the fourth quarter. The girl doing her thing. I'm looking at a number right here. At the start of this is her second season, just her second season, and she's already set the all-time WNBA career record with her 6th 25-point, 10-assist game. Caitlin Clark is the truth. She's the real deal, and she's not going anywhere. Now we got to see what Paige Beckers does in Dallas now that she's a WNBA player, and we can't wait until our girl get healthy, Juju Watkins.
Have you ever seen someone lose their mind over basketball stats? Not in anger, but in pure, unfiltered amazement? Well, Stephen A. Smith has officially entered obsession mode, and the reason is Caitlin Clark. That's right, the incredible highlight machine who's got him cheering louder than Spike Lee at a Knicks game. Every time she pulls up from the logo, Stephen A. looks like he's witnessing the second coming of Steph Curry, only even better. He's not angry, he's completely mesmerized. Caitlin isn't just rewriting history. She's redefining greatness in his eyes. She's not shaking his worldview. She's elevating it to a whole new level.
So after opening the season with a triple-double, she then dropped 27-11 with 5 boards and 2 steals. That is a problem, but it doesn't end there. So remember how last game, how she tied the third-place player for the most triple-doubles in WNBA history, right? Now she has the most 25 and 10-plus games in WNBA history. Already. But trust me, I'm not even done yet. So Caitlin Clark now tied Courtney Vandersloot for the most 20 and 10 games. Vandersloot took 430. Diana took 565. It's taking Caitlin 42. 42 freaking games. But wait, I'm not done. She is now the first WNBA player in history to start off the season with back-to-back 20 points and 10.
Now, Caitlin Clark is doing something that honestly should be considered illegal. In just 41 games, this incredible talent has recorded 9 games with at least 20 points and 10 assists. Just take that in. 9 times in only 41 games. Meanwhile, somewhere, Stephen A. is probably clutching his pearls, muttering about numbers and the game's integrity, which, without question, is directly connected to Caitlin Clark's extraordinary performances. Her ability to dominate on the court, seamlessly blending scoring and playmaking, is rewriting what we thought was possible. She's turning heads and shaking up the entire basketball world.
Side seats. These girls are supposed to have some clout. Work it out. You too, Molly. You got some clout. Work it out. I am at a point in time in my life where I am not going to a WNBA game and being upstairs or in the media box.
Okay, we got it. We got some clout. We're going to work it out. You got some bars, and that was supposed to be. That was a quick.
You haven't done it yet, Molly.
Okay, that was a quick take.
One thing I can definitely agree on with Stephen A. Smith is that Caitlin Clark is the truth, man. Is something special. Okay, now look at this stat. Look at this stat, dog. Most 20-point, 10-assist games. She haven't even made it to 50 games yet. All right? She hasn't even made it to 50 games and already tied it with Diana.
20 points and 10 assists. 9 times. It's like Caitlin Clark has her own one-woman basketball empire, churning out points, dishing out assists, smashing records, and, in the process, sending Stephen A. into an existential tailspin about the sport he's supposed to know inside and out. The sheer absurdity of it all is undeniable. This isn't some rare, once-in-a-moon performance. It's Caitlin Clark handing out stat lines like Oprah giving away cars. You get a 20 trimp game.
And what a lot of people weren't willing or were a bit reluctant to appreciate was the game on this young white sister of ours. She can ball And oh, by the way, she was a great ambassador for the game. And by the way, she came in there and looked out for everybody else. For 22 years, they couldn't get chartered flights. That sister got there, and it was done in 2 weeks. That's who Caitlin Clark is.
Let's be honest, Stephen A. Smith thrives on drama that fits into neat little boxes. You know the type. This player is a hero, this player is a villain, this player is overrated, or this player is the future. That's his bread and butter, turning sports into soap operas and casting athletes in roles like characters in a Marvel universe. Then Caitlin Clark steps onto the scene, and suddenly everything's on fire. She doesn't just break the mold, she melts it, laughs, and drains a half-court three with ease. The usual labels don't stick because she refuses to play along with the tired narrative machine. She's not here to be the league's savior, the villain, the underdog, or some pre-packaged storyline. She's here to hoop, plain and simple. And the media, especially the loudest voices in suits, are baffled. Is she too confident? Too competitive? Too damn talented for their categories? Absolutely. She's rewriting every script they thought they knew, line by line, play by play. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's redefining what it means to be the story. That's why the usual talking heads are short-circuiting, struggling to keep up with her. Because she's not fitting into their boxes. She's breaking them all apart and creating her own narrative, one that's impossible to ignore.
You all hate Clark, and when I say you all, hate Clark because she's a great hooper. You can't fake hooping. You can't fake shooting the ball. You can't fake creating your own shot. You can't fake facilitating. You can't fake none of it. Can't fake it. No, you cannot. It's simply the black people. Y'all hate her because if this was a young black woman like Juju, you wouldn't say nothing. Oh, and when y'all bring up Paige was raised by. So that's that.
Here's the twist. Stephen A. Smith's usual routine is all about emotional fire. He's like a human volcano ready to erupt over trades, missed calls, MVP debates, or players lacking box office star power. Now picture him watching Caitlin Clark effortlessly rewrite records, sinking logo threes like they're no big deal, and putting up stats that make NBA rookies blush. But here's the ironic part. He actually likes her. He respects her game. And that's what makes it so amusing. Instead of fiery outrage, he's genuinely in awe. You can imagine him pacing back and forth in his living room, shouting, "This girl is special. She's box office. She's must-see TV. Don't tell me she's not changing the game." Deep down, the analyst in him is losing it. No controversy, no need to stir the pot. Just pure, unfiltered basketball greatness. And that's where the comedy writes itself, because the man who lives for debate is left with nothing to argue, just a standing ovation. Caitlin Clark has turned the king of hot takes into a wide-eyed fanboy. And honestly, that's the most entertaining plot twist of all. It's rare to see someone challenge his narrative expectations so effortlessly, and in doing so, she's rewriting the entire sports media script.
Anna Taurasi? Oh my goodness. And I mean, she's almost about to hit Courtney Vandersloot. And look how many games they played to get to this number. Look how many games she's played. Oh my goodness, man. I believe Caitlin Clark might be the Oscar Robertson of the WNBA right now. I mean, this is nuts. This is nuts. She's also tied with Candace Parker with most triple doubles. Now she has a little way to meet Alyssa Thomas. I think she has 15. But fam, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? She is scraping the record.
And the statistics themselves are simply staggering. Think about it. Putting up at least 20 points and 10 assists in a single game is a remarkable achievement for most players, worthy of headlines, highlight reels, and fantasy team updates. But Caitlin Clark, doing that 9 times in just 41 games, elevates her to a whole new level. That's not just impressive, it's almost otherworldly. It's like witnessing a blend of Michael Jordan's scoring prowess, Magic Johnson's playmaking mastery, and Steph Curry's deep shooting, every aspect of basketball brilliance converging in one unstoppable player. Her dominance borders on the mythical, transforming the game's landscape. She's not merely here to share the spotlight or humbly compete, she's here to dominate the entire court, take control of the game, and break records with effortless style. Stephen A. Smith's reaction? It wasn't shock. It was validation. He saw her potential from the beginning, and now the entire sports world is catching up. Caitlin Clark isn't just rising to the occasion, she's already there, rewriting the narrative of women's basketball. Her extraordinary performance isn't just remarkable, it's revolutionary. It challenges our perceptions, raises the bar, and demands respect. The fact that someone so young can wield such power, skill, and influence is a testament to her talent, and a clear sign that she is reshaping the sport in a way no one saw coming.
When I think about Caitlin Clark, the operative word that comes to my mind is gratitude. There's an incredible level of gratitude that should be accorded to this young lady with what she did for the sport.
How was the attendance for Team USA in the Olympics? What would it have been like if Caitlin Clark was playing on that team? Remember the first game? Look at this right here. National broadcast viewership. What are we talking about here? 1,000, what is that? 1.219? Is that the number? And the game afterwards got 485,000. So the Fever in their game against the Minnesota Lynx was 1.219 million. On Ion.
Numbers literally don't lie. It's strictly in your face right here. The Fever, bro. They were the worst team in the league last year. Did not make the playoffs. This chick shows up. They make the playoffs, and they're the most watched team in the league.
You can almost hear the internal struggle in Stephen A. Smith's voice, like his mind is doing somersaults trying to reconcile two conflicting truths. On one hand, he knows, deep down in his sports lover's soul, that he should be praising Caitlin Clark's incredible performance. Her statistics, her composure under pressure, and her relentless efficiency on the court are undeniable. But on the other hand, how can he keep up his usual fiery rants when the facts are staring him in the face like an uncontested layup? It's like watching someone argue that gravity is a hoax while their coffee mug floats effortlessly above their head. Spoiler, Caitlin Clark is gravity right now. Her impact is so profound, so weighty with significance, that it's effectively grounding the usual hot takes in pure reality. And she's doing it at a breakneck pace. We're not talking about a slow, steady climb here. At 41 games into her season, she's already obliterated career records that many believed would stand for years. It's the sports equivalent of someone running a marathon and crossing the finish line before anyone else even starts. Each shot she makes seems to bend time, rewrite expectations, and silence critics, leaving everyone in awe of her extraordinary talent.
Including 5 3-pointers, and is now the all-time leader in 25-point 10 assist games in WNBA history. In year 2, coming off of a rookie season where she set the record for the most records broken in a single season, and now in year 2 has already broken.
If records were people, Caitlin Clark would be the one who strolls into a party, effortlessly snatching everyone's wallet. Except instead of wallets, she's taking home trophies, highlight reels, and the crushing realization for Stephen A. Smith that he might need to rethink his takes. It's a perfect irony. Stephen A. built his reputation on having the boldest opinions and the loudest voice in the room. But here comes Caitlin Clark, quietly dominating her games and systematically dismantling those loud declarations. 1 assist, 1 bucket at a time. It's like watching a heavyweight boxer slowly, methodically knocking out an opponent who talks big but can't land a punch. Stephen A.'s whole persona is that of a hype man who suddenly realizes that the quiet kid in the back of the room, who's been underestimated, is actually the one running the show. He craves the drama, the spectacle, the chance to shout at the TV, and what he's actually witnessing is Caitlin Clark doing her thing and making him look like a prophet whose predictions have come true. And if you think it's just about her impressive stats, think again. Caitlin Clark's style of play is so effortless, so smooth, it seems like she's playing a different sport altogether. She makes the ball seem glued to her hands, as if she's conducting a symphony of points and passes while her teammates just stand back in awe. Her game exudes a rare combination of skill, grace, and calm confidence that leaves everyone watching in amazement.
Do I need to call you the female version of Steph Curry, or do I need to call Steph Curry the male version of Caitlin Clark? I mean, which one is it? Which one is it?
I think I'll just be the female version of Steph Curry.
I mean, you hear people talking about you and throwing out those comparisons. Speak about how that makes you feel, about how you've just taken the world by storm because of...
Imagine Stephen A. trying to maintain his signature energy while watching Caitlin Clark rack up another 20 points and 10 assists. The man must be running out of adjectives, resorting to bizarre metaphors, and eventually shouting things that make zero sense just to keep pace. It's almost comical. The more her stats soar, the more his arguments freeze up. How can you argue against 9 games of nearly historic dominance? This entire story feels like a gripping soap opera for sports fans, except the star is a young phenom rewriting history, and the villain is a guy struggling to accept that his favorite narrative is crumbling right before his eyes. Honestly, Caitlin Clark's record-breaking streak isn't just a basketball story, it's a cultural moment. It's a clear reminder that sometimes the old guard needs to step aside as new legends rise and claim their place in history. Her unstoppable rise is reshaping the game and challenging everyone's expectations about who the future belongs to.
Retired. She deserves to be celebrated at Iowa the way that she did. When I did an event with her and my guy Mark Shapiro in Iowa, that's his alma mater, 11,000 people showed up. I assure you it was not for me. It was for her. This is who she is, and this is what she brings to the table. And then to go to the pro level, basically with no rest, after advancing to the national championship game before losing to Dawn Staley in South Carolina last year, what does she do? She goes out in the WNBA and she balls out there as well, and she ends up being a league MVP candidate as a rookie. This is who she is. She brings big-time play to the equation, big-time attention, and then she steps out. Absolutely no obligation to do so.
And what's truly ironic is that Stephen A., the man who built his reputation on shaping and controlling the narrative, suddenly finds himself losing grip to a player who's simply letting her numbers do the talking. Caitlin Clark has essentially become the new authority in basketball discourse, and Stephen A. is the one sneaking around, trying to stay in the shadows, hoping no one notices how outmatched he is. This whole situation reveals a deeper truth. The basketball world isn't quite ready for Caitlin Clark's level of dominance. His reactions are just the beginning. Coaches, players, and fans alike are all scrambling to understand what's unfolding before their eyes. She's like a walking paradox, so talented, so consistent, yet so disruptive to the traditional storylines and expectations. Behind the scenes, you can almost hear the whispers. Who is this kid? Why is she rewriting every rule we thought we knew? And why can't anyone seem to stop her? Honestly, watching Stephen A. try to process this feels like a detective discovering that the prime suspect is actually the police chief. The game is changing, and Caitlin Clark is leading the charge, leaving everyone else in her wake.
The kind of stuff that's happening and has been happening over the last few months is because of Caitlin Clark. I got some of the stats in front of me to validate it. Because you see, I bring receipts. And I'll get to why I'm really pissed off in a few minutes. WNBA Draft 2024 drew 2.446 million viewers to ESPN on Monday night, making it the most watched draft in WNBA history. Who's the number 1 overall pick? Huh, Aaron? Who's the number 1 overall pick? Say it louder. Caitlin Clark, the number 1 overall pick. This is coincidence, huh? It's just coincidence, huh? Of course.
Stephen A. Smith's response is a lesson in how to lose gracefully, except he's doing it all wrong. Instead of accepting Caitlin Clark's dominance with respect, he's losing control loudly, theatrically, and with every outburst only fueling her legend further. Watching this unfold makes it clear Caitlin Clark isn't just a player to watch. She's a force to be reckoned with, even if Stephen A. can't quite bring himself to acknowledge it without raising his voice. Here's to Caitlin Clark, an unstoppable star, rewriting records, challenging old narratives, and leaving Stephen A. scrambling for his next fiery hot take. May her stats continue climbing, her assists keep soaring, and may Stephen A. keep shouting into the void. Some victories aren't achieved through volume, but through quiet, relentless excellence. And in that arena, Caitlin Clark is the undisputed queen, redefining leadership and dominance on her own terms, leaving everyone else trying to catch up. If you enjoyed leaving a like and subscribing, more videos are on the screen now.